Got it.
Guys are adapting to practicing for 2 hours in the weather, and in the heat, and so are the coaches. And again, we're in the middle of our install, so a lot of guys are getting reps, and we're mixing and matching groups, and sometimes we'll have our 1D line with our 3 linebackers and our 3 linebackers with our 1 DBs or vice versa. So right now we're in the midst of install, so it's pretty heavy on them from a mental standpoint. But we're progressing, as we thought we would, and we're just looking forward to the next practice. Get a little bit of a day off tomorrow, just meetings, be able to clean some things up, and then get back after it on Monday.
As far as the experiment stage of practice, when does it become really just you're going with the ones, going with the twos? They're going to be the season opener. Is that really just 2 weeks before the season opener? Is that more like the timeline?
Yeah, I mean, typically what you do is you separate the team right around practice, 12 or 13, maybe 14 in some programs that I've been a part of. Usually you go through your 2 scrimmages, you grade them, and then you start working on future opponents. So us being just finishing practice 6 today. We'll get the break, and then next week it'll be pretty much installed. Then we go up to, we'll be up at Camp T, getting a lot of guys reps, trying to develop depth, and then really figure out once we get back from Camp T where we're going to go with our 1s, 2s, and some of those 3s are going to be rolling in with those first 2 groups as well. Also, kind of setting our scout teams and how those guys are going to help prepare us, from an offensive and defensive perspective.
With the intensity, I mean, I know once the pads got on, it seemed like the defense was causing the offense to get a little more chippy. Do you feel that, I mean, just the passion and the determination from the defense is, caused that, but what have you seen from just the overall group?
Just the big thing that we're just trying to preach with our guys is energy, and that energy is contagious. So when our guys come out ready to play, if the defense maybe isn't 100%, they're going to feed off their, our energy, and vice versa. So, right now it's really, and Kenny keeps preaching, it's really about complementary football and having an effect on each other and really trying to build that culture. So, all things considered, it's been a long week, 6 straight practices, pretty intense out here, we stayed relatively healthy, which is really good, and like I said, I'm looking forward to a day off and getting back to work on Monday and hopefully being refreshed, and also getting to the point now we're pretty much done with our install and just cleaning up all of our base, our base defensive stuff.
How are they doing in the core areas that are really important? The intensity, the speed, the physicality, attention to detail.
Well, this being our first day of full pads, and we had a couple controlled, full periods where we're tackling all the way to ground. Not a lot, so really it's hard to gauge that at this point. But I'll tell you this, I feel like we're a lot more physical than we were in the spring, and I'll speak more for defense, just up front on the defensive side of the ball. And I just feel like that's where we're the most improved right now, is in really our front and then interior portion of our defense.
When you bring in guys in the summer like Deshaun Mallory and D Ford, you obviously expect them to be some of the more impactful players on defense. What have you seen from those 2 guys in particular this week?
Just think that those guys are just explosive. They move their feet, they play off blocks, they can really do what we're asking them to do on our defense. And just, we're excited. Deshaun, just use him as just a specific example. Deshaun's just a really good fit for our defense, and it allows him to be aggressive, less catching, more being aggressive, and in a lot of the things we do, and then other things we do, we just kind of have to shut him off, and he has to play more base and expect double teams and be more physical. And he has a great understanding of our defense and our system, because it's really very similar to what they did up front at his previous school. And we're just excited about all of their development just overall. We just think we're much better on the interior right now.
And with D Ford, are you still trying to figure out if it's more corner, more nickel, or is maybe that going to be all season long, you shift back and forth?
Yeah, right now just to develop depth in that corner room, because it's so critical to what we do and their ability to to be able to cover, and they really got a toolbox with all the coverages and different things that we have to do. And D's a guy who's played a lot of football, and he's been at 2 different programs, so he understands how to learn, how to pay attention, how to apply what he gets on the meeting room and in a walkthrough onto the field the same day. we expect great things from him, and his position flexibility. It may be his greatest asset, but right now he looks pretty good at corner.
And then coaches, I mean, Dillingham's been talking obviously about communication, guys making calls. If you know something, make the call. Like you said, I know obviously first day in full pads, but once you got into shoulder pads, even when they're getting tired, how do you feel that the units and defensively, your units communicating on the field?
We need to get better. We definitely need to get better, especially in the back end standpoint. And our offense does a lot of things that really challenge us. It's a combination of, hey, our offense is pretty challenging to line up to and to be able to get into the right adjustments, and also a lot of this stuff is brand new to a few of our guys. So we're just going to stay with our install regardless, so the guys at least can establish a foundation, and we're just going to take the next step as we go. And I always tell our guys, and I tell the defensive staff, like, the process is the process, and it never ends, but the initial stages of the process never change.
So Jordan made one catch now. You're not worried about losing him going over to the offensive side of the ball trying to play receiver, are you?
No, that's a pipe dream. That's a pipe dream.
Thank you.
Cool.